He's a DTM and past the District Director of 74, which is Southern Africa. Today we will work together on developing a member-focused strategy to help your clubs convert more guests to members. Welcome, Paul Jensen. Why guests don't join your club? Paul Jensen.
When you talk to someone who's in a relationship or they're married, and they tell you that marriage is easy, what do you know? One, they're either not married, or two, there are problems in their relationship they're just unaware of. For me, in Toastmasters, being in a Toastmasters club is much like having a relationship with the other members in the club. A couple of years back, I was sitting in my home club that I'd been a member of for many, many years. And I was looking around at all my friends in the room. Chantal Smuts, Paul Barnard, Lorraine Stain, Alex Grant, that I'd known for years and years. And I thought, I'm getting a bit bored with this. I don't know if you've ever reached that stage in a relationship that you have. I wanted something new, something different. At the next meeting that we had, I thought I'd come up with a solution. I mean, it was obvious. They needed to change. I was doing okay. It was just them. At the next meeting, I shared that view with our Vice President of Membership. That there was something wrong with the club. We needed to change things. He needed to change things. And so you know what happened next, right? Nothing. Nothing changed. So I did what most of you would have done. I left. No, I didn't actually. I did do what most of you would have done. You're here on a Sunday morning. You're leaders. And as leaders, what do? We volunteer. I'll help. And so I joined our club committee again and I got involved. Because if you want to change the relationship that you're in, you have to do something about it, not somebody else. So this morning we're going to spend some time sharing about our clubs and what they're like to be in. And specifically, we're going to look at how our clubs handle guests and converting them to members. Because for me, in that context, in that story, in that club, I was bored with these people, these friends of mine that I had known for years and years and years, and I wanted to see some new blood in our club. New energy, different ideas. Do you want that for your clubs? Sure. Yes. So we're going to go through an exercise and consider the clubs that we're part of, and we're going to consider what we can do to change them. You ready for that? Yeah. Okay. First step is very easy. All you have to be able to do is count up to 4. Can you manage that?
No.
Right. Can I have the 4 facilitators that are going to help me? I'm standing here in the front. And our division director is going to identify the 4th one for me. And she stands up there. Yes. Yeah, there we go. Great. So now we're doing the counting from 1 to 4, so you have to remember your number. Can you do that? So if you're number 1, 1, you must be 2,
3,
4, 1, 2, 3,
4,
1, 2,
3,
4,
1,
2,
3, 4, 1, 2, 3,
4, 1, 2, 3,
4,
1.
Okay, so you've all got your numbers. Now we're going to divide into 4 groups. And each of your facilitators is going to take one of these flip charts and work with you through a specific topic that we're going to consider in terms of your clubs. We're going to consider your clubs in terms of how you interact with guests and convert them into members. Can you do that?
Yep.
So you're going to share the experiences of your own clubs. But each of your groups will have a specific focus. This is like debating. Do you do debating in your clubs?
Yes.
Sometimes? Okay, this is going to be a good exercise for you then. Because 2 of the teams are going to convince us that their clubs are the best at converting guests to members. And they're going to tell us why they're the best. And they're going to share with us the techniques that they use in their clubs. Can you guess what the other 2 are going to do? They're going to convince us that their clubs are the worst. And they're going to share with us what makes their clubs the worst. The things they don't do, should do, don't do properly. Okay, so you've got your numbers, 1 through 4. Good. So the group that's number 1 will join Elena over here. So you can stand up and come and join her. Number 2.
Yes.
So the group that's number 2 will come join the guys over here. Okay, 1 to 2 minutes, and your timer is sitting there.
So we are the worst, and I'm going to tell you why. Firstly, the problem of communication. We don't talk to the guests about afterparty. They can come and join us and talk with us about opportunities, about themselves, about anything. We just go to ourselves as club members. We don't talk during break or before the meeting or after the meeting. We don't do networking with them at all. We only talk with club members also. We talk like sect or a cult. We talk only about Toastmasters. We don't talk about them, their interests. We don't talk about our interests apart from Toastmasters or who we are. Only about that we are the organization that is so old and so amazing. Nothing else. We don't talk about their dreams, goals, why they came into the club, what they want to achieve in there. We are aggressive towards guests. I don't know if this requires any more comment. Okay, about communication also. No info about meeting. Nothing about the meeting next week or how it's going to look before it starts. No extra information to the guests, although they have questions. No information about technical aspects of joining, so about the fee, what is required, for example, age, what they can do to join. No answer about the organization, so as it was before, they have questions, but we just left them like this, and we say that we don't know the answer, or we just don't want to tell them. We don't ask about their experience after the meetings. There is no guest comments at the end of the meeting, or also after. We don't know what is opinion about the meetings of the guests. Also structured, we start meeting late. We have messy agenda, meeting is not professional. We force them to participate to table topics. We left them alone at the breaks and before the meetings. There is no applause after they speak, just silence. We ask for money, then we're going to be nice, but before the money, we don't talk with them, we don't want them. And there is harsh environment, so atmosphere is really not kind. And I believe that is all we had. Thank you. Okay.
And so the first thing I wanted to ask is, what's the name of your club? Sort of make sure.
This is the one with 3 hours. Toastmasters leaders, but of course that's not true.
2 questions. Anyone want to ask me questions about this?
I don't agree.
Agree with?
I don't agree with this.
Okay.
I mean, we are, for example, we are clapping our hands, we are talking to you guys, we are taking care about them, and...
So you're comparing this against your club? Yes,
We are in the same club.
We only know before all things which we do.
Just one.
I have a question.
Do you remember the story I told in the beginning? Here's this person, and they tell you marriage. It's easy. So what do you know? They're either not married, or they're unaware of the problems that they have in their relationship. And so, as a technique in terms of relationships, one should, on a frequent basis, review where you're at. Talk. Ask the other person. And so, what's interesting about this, and I'm very glad you raised it, you are both members of the same club. And everyone's perspective is different. Just because you enjoyed the meal doesn't mean that I did. And so talking about these things helps you be aware of, oh, okay, I hadn't thought about it from that point of view. How many members in your club?
45.
45, right. And how many did you have before renewals?
65.
Right. So you've dropped by a third. So at least a third of your members agree with this. You had a question?
Yes, I'm not sure that you are the worst. You are only ignoring your guests. Maybe you should beat them or shouting on them. Then you will become yeah, much more aggressive. It's not enough.
This exercise is one of extremes. So it's a bit like in a relationship. If you want your relationship to last, if your partner asks how things are going, I would not recommend that you come up with a list as long as this. But this is a very extreme example for all of us to learn from. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we our speaker disappeared.
That's good. Okay.
2 minutes?
Yes, 2 minutes.
Okay. So our club is even worse. So we don't have guest hosts, so we don't have a special person to take care of guests. So nobody take care of guests. Nobody speaks to them. We are focused on ourselves. We just talk to ourselves, and we don't look at others. We don't collect emails from guests, and we don't follow up after the meeting. So even if we collect, we don't send any emails. So no follow up. We don't give any information, which is structured information. There's lots of house over in the club, so you can't find out what's going on, like how to apply, how to join, and so on. So no networking, as I said before. Actually, no conversation, no chatting. Poor level of the meetings. We don't have a good plan for the meeting. There are poor level of speeches. We also have a poor level of evaluation, but sometimes also hard evaluation can make somebody doesn't want to join us. So some people are just scared of hard evaluations. We don't close the deal, so we don't provide information how to finally join our club. Yeah, and we are desperate, like join our club, and yeah, and that's why we discourage also our guests. Yeah, that's, I think it was already, like, we don't have any like clear information. And we show only best speakers on the meetings, so like people can think that oh, I don't belong here, I'm not going to be like them. Yeah. Yeah, and two small clubs. Sometimes people may think that it's not encouraging to join like a small club. I think that they're not successful at all. And low energy, no enthusiasm on the meetings. Yeah, and that's it.
Just bring one over. So we were talking earlier about relationships. And so the best relationships are not the ones that don't have problems. The best relationships are the ones where they work through the problems that they have. They're honest about where they're at. So we've gone through two lists of the challenges that you have in your clubs. A bit depressing, isn't it? Could you stand for me? Stand up. Because before we move on to the next one, which is this, I want to remind you about something. I want to remind you about why I'm here. Because I came here to learn from you. Because you are the fastest growing country in Europe. You are amazing Toastmasters. You're here on a Sunday morning. So before we move into the next section, let's just clarify who we are. And I want you to say with me, we are the best.
We are the best.
We are the best.
Come on, Sunday morning enthusiasm. We are the best.
We are the best.
You may be seated. Thank you. This is yours. Good, okay. Right, now let's see how really good we are.
Okay, so let me start with saying that we are the best. You all know this. How do we do it? First of all, we're well known. Our PR is the best of the best. We are well positioned on Google. We pay for our positioning. We are well positioned on Facebook. You can find us. You know, you're looking for an English-speaking club, you know this is us. There is also people talking about us, the best club. There's this whispering marketing that everybody knows that works. Our people take part in contests. They're visible at conferences. We organize marathons. They talk about our marathons. We had one training by Jacek today. He was talking about the marathon. Everybody knows there's a marathon in our club. They will come. We conduct interviews with famous speakers. Everybody knows about it. Now, after you know all this, you come to our club as a guest. What happens? The first impression is the most important impression. We all know about that. So what do? We have a welcoming committee. Right at the door, or even before the door, you will see arrows that will take you to the room. Then, on the steps, on the staircase already, there will be somebody welcoming you and showing you the seat. There will be a membership, VP membership, who will talk to you. We will also organize networking sessions. This is something additional. And then, what's happening next? Because I'm running out of time slowly. There is a guest introduction. So the president will ask, who are the guests? What brought you here? Who referred you to the club? So you as a guest, you're very welcome to be here. Then you will take part, of course if you want to, in the question of the day and in table topics. And guess what? You will be the winner of table topics. Which will cause that you come the next time, because you are the best. This is your first time and you're already the winner. You will put your name and an email on a guest list, which will be very useful when we follow up and call you later on and ask how you like the meeting, etc. We will ask you your impressions. So you will, at the end of the meeting, you can share how much you liked our meeting. Of course, you liked it a lot, so you want to share it with us. Then you'll meet separately with VP membership, who will take you through the membership process and everything. that you will be invited to an after party, which happens after the meeting. So hamburgers, beer, whatever you like. This will be exactly what you want, to mingle with the people after that. After you get home, you will receive a thank you email from us. And with a list of future events. So you will know, that brings us back to this, you will know about the conferences, the interviews and everything, all the cool stuff that's happening. And we will add you to our Facebook friend list. So you will feel very special. After we receive some questions from you to the email, we of course will answer. And again, you will feel very, very special. So, would you like to join our club?
Most important point on this list. If you have a pen, write this down. From a guest point of view, if they speak, they'll join. If they speak, they'll join. So that's the most important ingredient in this. To make sure you create opportunities for your guests to feel comfortable and speak. Because then at the end of the meeting, when you ask them, how did you find the meeting? What did you think? Is this for you? They're going to turn and say, actually, yeah, I just spoke with them. Yeah, I'm good for this. This is good for me. I like it. I'll join. If they speak, they'll join. The last presentation. Who's that? Over here. Worried about the videographer.
You've heard practices of one of the best clubs, and I'm going to tell you about the practices of the best club ever that we have in Warsaw. Guests are our treasure. And when someone that we don't know, we don't recognize the face, comes to us, the person is warmly greeted, seated, and given a set of materials with a sheet of paper for email address, telephone number, and so on, so that we have contact data for later follow-up. We follow up with guests by email, by telephone, and we don't only write thank you letters, we also call people who showed interest during the meeting, who said, yes, we want to join the club, and then we call them and ask them and try to engage them more. And this is very effective, because when I was in a Toastmasters meeting for the first time, I said in the meeting, yes, I'm interested in joining, but then there was silence. Someone from the management, from the board called me and said, Eva, so when are you joining? I said, no, it was too spontaneous. I don't think I will, because I'm too shy. And she said, well, you know, everybody here is shy. I am shy, you are shy, so we try to encourage people not only by emails, but also by personal conversation. Then, at the end, coming back to the meeting, at the end of the meeting, we have a round of questions for the guests, how they liked it, what they expect, about their objectives, and what they would like to take away from meetings. During the meeting, in the breaks, before the meeting, after the meeting, we take care of the guests, showing them that we care, we engage in chats with them, we show them interest and so on, so that they are not left alone somewhere in the corner, but they feel the group is interested and they feel accepted. Of course, during the meeting, they also have an opportunity to speak, so they are kindly asked during the table topic sessions. For example, if anyone here would like to abstain from table topics, if they don't want to abstain, they will be asked a question, and if they keep within the time limit, they might even win. We we also explain roles clearly during the meeting, so that they know what's going on, so that they know that if the red flag or red color is there, they should finish their table question. So I will, and so will I. And how we advertise, we put information and adverts on social media, and also every opportunity, and also every time we meet a friend or someone we talk to during an event or conference, we give them our business card, and it's an opportunity to attract people. We go outside of the club, we ask friends to invite us to events, conferences, and so on, so that we can give valuable workshops. Being professional is also very important, so that we run very high quality meetings, so that people who come can see that they can profit a lot from being in the club and following the path. Being professional means being on time, providing value, and we also create positive atmosphere.
So we can see, being part of a club and your relationship with them is much like the other relationships in your life. They go through troughs and peaks. Reviewing where you're at and how well you're doing, and doing it honestly, so taking into account all the best and the worst of where you're at, allows you an opportunity to be able to move forward and maintain your relationships. Like you, I'm a product of my club. I've been Toastmaster for 20 years. My club has produced 3 district directors. So I'm a proud member of my home club. It's been around for 40 years. I hope it will be around for another 40 more. And I'm sure you feel the same way about your home clubs. So take the opportunity with your club team and with your members to review where you're at as a club, how well you're doing, the value that your club members are getting, and how well your club leadership team, your board, is performing. Because in that long-term relationship is your opportunity to grow, become the speaker and leader that you want to be. Please stand. So let's be clear about who we are.
We're the best.
We're the best. For the Sunday morning enthusiasm. We're the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul.